Hello, one and all. Welcome to Microbiology at Delaware Tech for the summer of 2021. My name is Dr. Boney. I just want to kind of go through the course a little bit. This will be the longest video of the year. Most of my lectures are 5 to 10 minutes long. There's a bunch of them. This one will probably be a little longer than that, but it'll show you exactly everything you need to know to figure out how to navigate the course. So when you get into the courses at Delaware Tech, you're not going to see all of these. Thank goodness, don't freak out. But you will see one that looks like this. So you just want to click on that, and it'll bring you here. And there'll be an announcement here, I'm sure. But really where you go is you want to go to content. And this is really everything that you need to get started for the whole course. So it's fairly obvious where to start. You just click Start here. And then the first thing it's going to do is it's going to say, here's what you need to do. It's going to give you all the stuff to register. There's also, it's going to say, watch the course orientation video. That will be somewhere around here. But obviously you'll be doing that now. So let's just kind of get down the list. This is the course itself. This is how you're graded. And you can see here that there is a large amount of information that you are going to be expected to know because it's a summer course. So here is the grading. You have to pass lecture independent of labs. So you need at least a 70% in lecture and a 70% in labs. If you have a 95 in lecture and a 38 in labs, you're not going to pass the class. So you need to pass both independently. So this, also a couple other things. If anything is late that has a due date, it's 20% off per day. So you absolutely want to make sure that you get things on time. And to know when to do things, here is literally the list. This is everything you need to do and every single date that it's due. So this first thing right here, this sounds a little crazy, but there is an exam that you're going to take the first day of the course. There is literally one question on it. And the question is a yes/no answer, and you just type yes, and you will get 5 free points. The purpose of this test is to set up your proctoring software on your computer because the exams you're going to take are done through the computer with the proctoring software. So I want to make sure that all the proctoring software works before you actually do the real exam on May 31st. So if you do that by the 21st, you will get 5 points added to your exam grade. If you do not do it by the 21st for whatever reason, you get no points added to your exam grade. So you want to go ahead and do that. All right, so a couple more things. I'll get back to the schedule in a little bit, but that's just kind of the week 1 stuff. So also there is something here. You're going to go to click to go to the thing called Edpuzzle videos, and I'll explain kind of what that stuff is in a second. So you want to go ahead and click on this, and it's going to take you to something that looks like this. This is Edpuzzle, and none of you have an account, so don't be hitting sign in. You're going to go up here to the upper right and hit sign up, and then you're going to hit just sign up with Edpuzzle if you want, and it's going to tell you what course. There it is. And you're going to put in your first name, last name, whatever username you want, and a password, and then you are in. And basically what that is going to be is a series of my lectures. Now you don't actually do the lectures from Edpuzzle. So once you log in, you can go ahead and log out of it. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. The next thing we have is the Virtual Support Center, which is a link right here. It'll take you to the support center for the school if you have any questions about technology or whatnot. And then we also have information about me, how to contact me and whatnot. So this is good. We're just going to write down the line. Down from there we have the syllabus. And so this is the official syllabus of the course. College-wide, it tells you basically everything you're going to know. Boy, that's a lot of stuff. And then another good thing I have is what's called the weekly checklist. So if you want to know exactly what you have to do to stay on task, this is my recommended what you do every single week for the whole course to stay on task. And everything in red is something that has some sort of grade to it. Okay, and so that's that. And then the next one going down, notice we're just going right down, is learning materials. And so as far as the learning materials, we're going to see here that there's 2 little things. One is a little video about Proctorio software. That's the software that you're going to have to install on your computer to take my exams. And then the next bit is just all of the information that is in the bulk of the information for the first exam. So in order, here is the exam study guide. If you want to know the major parts of the test, here it is. It's not a secret. I'm a very firm believer in clear learning targets. So this is what you're going to have on the test. This is basically, I wrote the test and then back wrote this thing. So this is really all of it. So if you see something in a PowerPoint that might mention something about, or the book that might mention something about like mitosis or whatnot, I don't see anything about mitosis on there. That's because it's not on the exam. So this represents about 95% of what's on the test. If you know these things, you will be fine. The things in red are topics that either A, as you can see, are some sort of essay or free response, or matching or something like that, or they're areas that I've also indicated that are worth more points on the exam than other things. So they're things you really want to know very well. So these particular 5 bullet points, or 6 bullet points, are worth probably about 40 points on the test. So it's a larger percentage than any of the other ones. So there you go. All right, next from there we have in order just like the PowerPoint for Chapter 3. And so there's that. This is also has closed captioning and other ADA information in it. I shouldn't say closed caption, but ADA, so it does offer other sort of things if you have any visual impairment of any kind. This is set up to be the most, I guess, technologically advanced version of it. Then we have these other things. So I told you earlier I wanted you to go ahead and sign up for Edpuzzle. And basically what you're going to do for your learning is you're going to open up Exam 1 and you're going to go right down the list. First you're going to look at the exam study guide. Then there's the PowerPoint. Then all of these things in a row. These are all activities or mini lessons for Chapter 3. So if you just click on one of them, like if I just click on this one now, just what I did is I opened up my teacher version so you would see what happened. So if I just click on one like this, you're going to get this video, and then what you can do is just hit full screen, and you can go ahead and hit play, and what it will do is offer you what looks like a regular video, but they're actually not. So if I just click on another one just to give an example, up there's the next one in line. I hit get started, I open it up, and as soon as I push play, you will notice that it looks like a normal video from YouTube, except there's these little bullet points under here, and these are all embedded questions that I put. So once the video gets to a certain point of the video, there will be a question that will pop up, and it will just ask you kind of an assessment like right in the middle. So if you watch right here, the bullet gets to the first one, boom. And right in the middle of this video, there's some sort of question. I don't know, carefully? I'm not sure. I specify carefully, who knows? These are open-ended. Some are open-ended, some are not, and then I can keep going on and on. If you want any closed caption, all you would do is just hit the CC button and pick English, and it will add closed captioning to the video as well. And so there you go. And so these are little mini videos. I made most of these. I'm a star in some of them, and some of them I'm not. But these are not graded. You are going to get feedback on a lot of the answers to these things instantly. A lot of them are like true or false, or some of them are also multiple choice. So they're going to give you kind of an assessment on the spot. I will tell you that I chose these and designed these because you're going to see the information from these on the exam. You can do these the first time. You have to do the video all the way through. You can't skip around, but then after the first time you can skip around all you want. So all the way down the line, these are little Edpuzzle videos that I have just to help with your learning. So if we just choose like and of course here's the next chapter. Here's chapter 4, a bunch of lectures. Chapter 5, a bunch of lectures. So as far as the homework stuff, let's go back to for a second and look at the let's go the where you're graded. Let's go in this guy for a little bit because this is going to be of most use to you. So here's everything you have to do every week You will notice that the week of 5/7, now technically the course opens on the 15th, but you got a couple extra days. This is my suggested schedule, okay? The only things you actually have to hold to as far as solid deadlines are anything in purple, green, or brown. In other words, I know that you guys have lives. I know a lot of you are working. A lot of you are parents. A lot of you have a lot going on. So instead of having something due every week, this is my suggested schedule. The absolute dates that do not change are all your homework for chapter 3, 4, and 5 is due on 5:30, right? So if you want to do all these the night before, go ahead. I highly recommend not doing that, but they're all due the night before the exam. There's a quiz that's due for chapters 3 and 4 on the 27th. That's a hard deadline. Obviously, I talked about the free pre-exam thing to make sure your computer's working. That's on 5/21. And then labs 1 through 3 are due 6/4. So everything here are solid deadlines. If you use a Google Calendar, if you use a paper calendar, I highly recommend that you put these dates of purple and green and brown into your schedule. What else is a hard date is the exam dates, 5/31. So on May 31st, you are going to have access through D2L to take the exam online. And I'm going to have a Zoom review. So I'm not going to Zoom with you guys every week. This is an asynchronous course. I'm not going to have meetings for lectures. I put all the lectures online. I'm a firm believer in that. One of you might be someone who likes to start learning at 9 in the morning. Some of you might be somebody that starts to like learning at 9 at night. Who am I to judge? So that's why I record all my lectures, and you can watch them whenever you want. So I will send you the schedule for the exam Zoom reviews. But 5:31 hits, you have 24 hours to take the exam. The exam opens up at 12:01 a.m. on the 31st, and it closes at 11:59 that night. So this is your schedule for everything you have to do. So besides exams, you have chapter homeworks, you have a quiz, and you have lab activities. So where do you find those? Well, where you find them is here. If I close all these up, again, we're going right down the list. Right here is your learning materials. What's after that? After that's going to be your chapter 3, 4, and 5 chapter assignments. And then there's your online quiz. Here's your online labs, which you'll be able to see. Don't worry about lab practical yet. And this is where you take your exams. So they're all done from here. Okay. So the last thing I want to go over is the labs and kind of what those look like. So when you click on the labs, it's going to open something up that's going to look kind of like this. Once you get into the lab, this is actually one of your labs. These are not just videos you watch. These are hands-on labs. So it says turn on the microscope by clicking the power switch. I'm like, oh wow, okay, that actually worked. Adjust the light source, so I can turn the light up or down. Oh look, I'm turning the knob down here, and it's making it brighter. All right, and adjust the ocular lens by moving the eyepiece. Ooh, look, there's a question. So this is basically a little input into the way the labs are. They're very hands-on. They're point of view, a lot of them. So you're not just sitting there aimlessly, watching a video. I think that's definitely not the best way to go. So that's literally the way the course is organized. So again, the schedule is there. Everything you need is there. If you ever want to know when you're doing what, your weekly minimum checklist is here. And if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, if you have any questions, go ahead and email me, and I can set you up. The very last thing is, how do you register for Online Connect? You will know that I sent you an email telling you that you absolutely have to have a code. For those of you that got the code, what you do is, all you need to do to register for it with the code that you have is click on the very first assignment. And again, I actually make that very explicit in the start here. When I pretty much say this, just click on assignment 3. So all you're going to do is go ahead, click on assignment 3. It's going to say launch. I'm not going to click it right now because I'm a teacher. It's going to send you to Connect. It's going to have you sign up with an email, and it's going to ask you one of two questions. It's going to say, hey, if you bought an access code, type it into here. Great. If you don't have an access code, it says, hey, you can buy one in here. So you can use your credit card and buy one directly in McGraw-Hill. Okay. And the very last thing, that once you end up registering for McGraw-Hill, it's going to look like this. Please do me a favor. Do not do any of the assignments from here. Do all of the assignments from here. All the assignments that you do, your quizzes, your online chapter assignments, your exams, your labs, do them from D2L. Don't do them directly from McGraw-Hill, okay? Because if you do them in here, I'm going to have to grade all these by hand every question and then put the grade backwards into D2L. So please don't do the grades or do any of the assignments in here. This is where you would go to look and see like the feedback on the exam, what you got right and wrong with specific questions, my comments to you about stuff. But don't do any assignments in Connect. Do all the assignments from D2L. And with that, this is the longest video I'll make of the entire semester, so I hope you enjoyed it. Otherwise, if you have any questions, you know how to reach me via email, and good luck on the course.